Okay, so let's continue our discussion. So let's have indefinite integrals. So given a function f, we use the notation f prime of x, or the derivative of f with respect to x, to denote the derivative of f. So these are just some of the notations that we use to denote derivative. Here we introduce the notation for antiderivatives. Okay, so if capital F is an antiderivative of a small f, we say that capital F of x plus c is the most general antiderivative of a small f. The indefinite integral of f of x with respect to x is defined by, so this one, we read this as the indefinite integral of a small f of x with respect to x is equal to capital F of x plus c, where c is an arbitrary constant, the constant of integration. So the symbol, this symbol is called the integral sign. So ang tawag natin dito ay integral sign. The process of computing an integral is called integration. So, yung pagkuha natin ng derivative, ang tawag natin doon ay differentiation. Dito naman, kapag ang kinukuha natin, the process of computing an integral or your antiderivative, the process is called integration. Okay, so here, f of x, small f of x is called the integrand. So itong nandito sa tabi ng integral sign, ang tawag natin dito ay the integrand. And then the term dx identifies x as the variable of integration. Actually, hindi lang x ang pwede nating ilagay dyan. So pwede rin nating ilagay na the indefinite integral of f of t with respect to t. So kapag ganyan, kapag t yung variable, t din yung ilalagay natin dito sa itong variable of integration natin. Okay, so let's have example number 1 of an indefinite integral. So evaluate the indefinite integral of 3x squared dx. So ulit, this is the integral symbol. This function is what you call the integrand, and this is the variable of integration. Okay, so solution, you should recognize 3x squared as the derivative of x cubed, and so the indefinite integral of 3x squared with respect to x is equal to x cubed plus c. Okay? So, yung c natin is the constant. So, sabi dito, you should recognize 3x squared as a derivative of x cubed. So, itong x cubed is an antiderivative of 3x squared. Kasi kapag dinifferentiate or kinuha natin yung derivative ng x cubed, that will be x cubed is equal to, kunin natin yung derivative niya. So, applying the power rule, we have 3 times the coefficient is 3. And then, the variable x. And then, the exponent 3 minus 1 magiging 3x square. Okay? So, kapag dinifferentiate natin or kinuha natin yung derivative ng x cube, ang makukuha ay 3x square, which means x cube is an antiderivative of 3x square. So, mag-a-add lang tayo ng c dito or constant, and that's it. We have the indefinite integral or the antiderivative of this function. Example number 2. So evaluate the indefinite integral of t raised to 5 with respect to t. So as you can see, ang variable na ginamit ay t. So t din yung nandito. The variable of integration. Okay? Solution. We know that the derivative of 1 over 6t raised to 6 with respect to t is equal to t raised to 5. Therefore, the indefinite integral of t raised to 5 with respect to t is equal to 1 over 6 t raised to 6 plus c. Okay? So, itong t raised to 5, antiderivative yan ng... No. Wait lang. I mean, itong 1 over 6 t raised to 6 ay antiderivative ng t raised to 5. Bakit? Kasi kapag kinuha natin yung derivative niyan, derivative with respect to t is equal to, no? Okay, so the derivative d over dt of 1 over 6 t raised to 6. So kapag kukunin natin yung derivative niyan, so applying power rule, we have 6 times 1 over 6. 6 times 1 over 6 is 6 over 6 or just 1. And then t raised to 6 minus 1 is equal to t raised to 5. So therefore, we can say that this this function 1 over 6 t raised to 6 is an antiderivative of t raised to 5. So the indefinite integral of t raised to 5 with respect to t is equal to 1 over 6 plus c. Mag-add ulit tayo ng constant. So we should point out that every differentiation rule gives rise to a corresponding integration rule. So sabi natin kanina dun sa learning outcome natin that you should understand that integration is the reverse or inverse of integration, or integration is the reverse of differentiation. Okay. So for instance, recall that for every rational power r, the derivative of x raised to r with respect to x is equal to rx r raised to 1. Okay? So, yung power rule natin to in finding the derivative. Diba yung r natin, yan yung exponent, imumultiply natin dito sa 1 na nandyan. So, r times 1, kaya meron tayong r. And then the variable x, tapos yung exponent natin, r minus 1. So, ito yung power rule natin, di ba? Power rule in derivative. Likewise, we have the derivative of x raised to r plus 1 with respect to x is equal to the quantity r plus 1 x raised to r. So, ito yung exponent natin, r plus 1 times yung coefficient dito, quantity r plus 1 times 1 is r plus 1. And then yung variable x. Tapos, r plus 1 yon. So, this is, yung exponent natin ay r plus 1. And then, mag-subtract tayo ng 1. So, matatanggal yung 1 minus 1. Ang matitira lang ay r. So, Theorem 1.2, power rule. Itong power rule na to, this is a power rule for integration or finding the antiderivative. So, for any rational power, r is not equal to negative 1. So, hindi pwede, dito hindi pwede na yung r natin or yung exponent natin ay mag-equal sa negative 1. So, I'll explain that further later. So, the antiderivative of x raised to r with respect to x is equal to x raised to r plus 1 divided by r plus 1 plus c. So, ito yung formula natin for power rule. here, if r is less than negative 1, ibig sabihin, ano ba yung mga less than negative 1? Negative 2 up to the negative infinity of numbers. The interval I on which this is defined can be any interval that does not include x is equal to 0. Theorem 1.2 says that to integrate a power of x other than x is x raised to negative 1, you simply add to the exponent, add 1 to the exponent and divide it with the new power. Notice that this rule obviously doesn't work for is equal to negative 1 since this would produce a division by 0. Kasi, okay, for example, ang kinukuha natin ay the indefinite integral of x raised to negative 1 with respect to x. So, kapag in-apply natin yung formula natin, so we have x raised to, ang r natin ay negative 1. So, negative 1 plus 1 divided by, okay, ang r natin ay negative 1 ulit, negative 1 plus 1 plus c. So, that will be equal to x raised to negative 1 plus 1. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. So, any number raised to 0 is equal to 1. So, 1 over negative 1 plus 1 is 0 plus c. And any number divided by 0 is undefined. So, magiging undefined kapag ang value ng r or exponent natin ay negative 1. So, let's have examples on using the power rule. Okay? Evaluate the indefinite integral of x raised to 17 with respect to x. Solution. So, from the power rule, we have, okay, i-apply natin yung power rule, the indefinite integral of x raised to r with respect to x is equal to x raised to r plus 1 over r plus 1 plus c. Okay? Okay, so we have indefinite integral of x raised to 17 with respect to x is equal to, so x raised to 17 plus 1 divided by 17 plus 1 plus c is equal to x raised to 18 over 18 plus c. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, ito ay antiderivative. This is antiderivative of x raised to 17. X raised to 17. Bakit siya antiderivative? Bakit itong function na to ay antiderivative ng x raised to 17? Kasi kapag dinifferentiate natin or kinuha natin yung derivative nito, ang lalabas ay x raised to 17. So, let's have. So, i-check natin kung tama. Checking is to find capital F prime of x is equal to x raised to 18 over 18 plus c. So, that will be equal to, so pwede natin siyang isulat as 1 over 18, 1 over 18 yan, times x raised to 18 plus c. Okay? So, i-apply natin yung power rule for derivatives. The exponent 18 times 1 over 18. So, 18 times 1 over 18. And then, the variable x, 18 minus 1 plus derivative of constant is 0 is equal to 18 times 1 is 18 divided by 18 is 1. So, 1 na yan. So, x raised to 18 minus 1 is 17 plus 0. Okay, so tama. na kapag kinuha natin yung derivative ng function na to, the result will be x raised to 17, which proves that it is really an antiderivative of this function. The power rule with a negative exponent. Okay, so i-apply naman ngayon natin yung power rule dito sa integrand or dito sa function with a negative exponent. So let's evaluate the indefinite integral of 1 over x cubed with respect to x. So for our solution, we can use the power rule if we first rewrite the integrand. So ang integrand natin dyan ay yung 1 over x cubed. Okay? So paano natin yan i-rewrite? So remember, sa mga previous discussions natin, kaya natin ilalagay yung expression dyan sa denominator kasi meron siyang negative na exponent. So yung 1 over x cubed is equivalent to x raised to negative 3. So kaya siya the indefinite integral of x raised to negative 3 with respect to x. So ngayon, pwede na nating i-apply yung power rule. So that is equal to x raised to negative 3. Mag-add tayo ng 1 divided by the new exponent. Negative 3 plus 1 plus constant c is equal to x raised to negative 3 plus 1, that will be negative 2 divided by negative 2 plus c. Okay? Checking. So i-check natin kung tama na ito ay antiderivative ng 1 over x cubed. Okay, so capital F prime of x is equal to x raised to negative 2 over negative 2 plus c. So check natin kung tama. So that will be equal to, so ito, pwede natin siyang, okay, so pwede nating isulat itong x raised to negative 2 over 2 as negative 1 half times x raised to negative 2 plus c. So that will be equal to, so applying the power rule for derivatives, we have negative 2 times negative 1 half, magiging 2 over 2 times x raised to negative 2, of course minus 1, mag-minus 1 tayo, plus c is equal to negative 2 divided by 2 is 1. So that is 1. So just write x raised to negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3. And of course, the derivative of a constant will be 0. So we have now x raised to negative 3. And to remove or to avoid the negative exponent, we will write that as fraction, wherein 1 is the numerator and this expression, x raised to negative 3, will be written in the denominator part without the negative exponent. Without. So, ang sagot natin, 1 over x cubed. So, this proves that x raised to negative 2 divided by 2 plus c is an antiderivative of 1 over x cubed. Okay, so itong example number 3 naman natin, power rule, applying the power rule with fractional exponent. So let's evaluate the indefinite integral of the square root of x with respect to x. So as in previous example, we first rewrite the integrand and then apply the power rule. So itong integrand natin, obviously ay nasa radical form. Radical form kasi nga meron siyang radical sign. So ngayon, i-replace re-rewrite natin into an expression with fractional exponent. So, paano yon? So, itong nasa loob ng radical sign, ang tawag dyan ay radicand. So, yung radicand na x magiging base kapag ginawa natin expression with fractional exponent. And then, ang exponent nitong x ay 1. Yang 1 na exponent ng x dyan, magiging numerator nito. So, 1 over, ang denominator nito ay yung index ng radical expression. So, ang index natin dyan, since this is a square root, so ang index natin ay 2. So, this will be x raised to 1/2. So, ngayon, pwede na natin i-apply yung power rule. So, as a result, we have the indefinite integral of x raised to 1/2 with respect to x. Okay? Is equal to, applying the power rule of integration. So, x raised to 1/2, mag-add lang tayo ng 1 divided by the new exponent, 1/2 plus 1 plus c. Okay, next. So, we have, sulat natin to para ma-explain ko dito muna. So, we have now x raised to 1/2 plus, okay, so itong 1, pwede natin siyang isulat na 2 over 2 para mas madali natin siyang ma-add. Divided by 1/2 plus 1, pwede natin isulat na 1/2 plus 2 over 2 plus c is equal to, okay, so x raised to 1/2 plus 2 over 2 is 3/2. 3/2 divided by 3/2 plus c. So, imbis na i-divide natin yan, para mas madali, i-multiply natin yung, tawag dito, i-multiply natin yung reciprocal ng 3/2. Kasi nga nagdi-divide tayo, i-multiply natin yung reciprocal niya. So, x raised to 3/2. Of course, ang denominator niyan ay 1. Multiplied by the reciprocal of 3/2, which is 2/3. 2/3. Tapos, plus c. So, we have now, x raised to 3/2 times 2 is 2x raised to 3/2. Divided by 1 times 3 is 3 plus c. Okay? So, ang sagot natin dito ay 2/3 kasi 2 and 3. 2/3 x raised to 3/2 plus c. Okay, so i-check natin ngayon by getting the derivative of this. Okay? Kukunin natin yung derivative ng function na to. At kapag square root of x ang nakuha natin, ibig sabihin tama. Okay, so that's equal to 2/3. Okay, yung exponent natin, 3/2. 3/2 times yung coefficient 2/3 x raised to 3/2 minus 1, di ba? So 3/2 minus 1 or minus 2 over 2 plus c is equal to 3/2 times 2/3 is 1. That's 3, that's 2. So magiging 1. So just write x raised to 3/2 minus 2 over 2. That will be 1/2. 1/2 plus c. At itong x raised to 1/2, kapag sinulat natin or nire-write natin into radical form, magiging this x, this base will be the radicand x the exponent 1 or the numerator 1 will be the exponent, and then the denominator 2 will be the index. So magiging square root of x, which means that 2/3 x raised to 3 half plus c is an antiderivative of square root of x.